Yo guys, welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 10. So in the last episode, we got started with automating Mekanism. Not too bad, it was pretty easy. And then we got some of these HDPE pellets. I have a simple automation process here going. Very quick, easy, and dirty. We could just hide it away wherever we want. And then I have this drawer here. This is just a buffer, that's why you don't see anything. It's if this gets backlogged with substrate. But we are producing this HDPE pellets, and if we needed to, we could always come into our system and autocraft the sheets, which it's missing. I never added that barrel to our system, which I guess that makes sense. So we got to come up here, and there we go. So if we want 100 plates, see, it is just auto crafting away. So off camera, I didn't do a whole lot. I finished filling our drawers here. I did craft a mega crafting just to try to speed up some of our crafts here. I did finally upgrade these to the extended versions, so they have more storage space now, and they are fully upgraded and so much quicker. So we're pushing the quantum crafting off as far as we can for now. I just don't see a point in it. Not yet, at least. But as for now, this will work. It's quick enough. Took forever. We're up to 3,320 subs. This goes by tens, not single digits. So I think it's at 26, but crazy. I did fight the Ender Dragon a couple more times. We needed a data card for hostile neural networks. So if we come into here, we have our setup. I believe it's upstairs here. We now have it producing right here. We need a self-aware one. I got 4 of them running. Don't know why. Why not, I guess. But yeah, it's just producing dragon's breath. We don't need the eggs. But in this episode, if we come down to the second floor, I've started with a simple little setup. I got sulfur seeds from a quest reward, but if you needed to craft these, let's see. It's just 4 sulfur, prudentium, and sulfur. Pretty sure you can just find this underground. You can mine it up. If you're following along, I do believe our system here, Boon of the Earth, it does produce an absolute buttload of sulfur. So you can go that route. I wanted something just quick and easy that would just show right away. So I just have an accelerated planter here with sulfur seeds growing. Then they're being put into here, which it does not look like it wants to be inputted in here. Wonder why that is. Oh, it's not being extracted from this chest. Is that why? Should be. Maybe I just gotta fix this filter. There we go. So we're making sulfur in a fabricator. It's then being pulled out of here and put into a framed drawer, which if we look on the left, you'll see we have 518, 520. You can see it in the system. Now, the next bits, we are diving further into Mekanism because, as we discovered, we need somewhere in here polonium pellets. which to get polonium, you need nuclear waste. You get nuclear waste, fission reactors. Fission reactors run on fissile. So today we are going to get started on fissile fuel, which is super simple. Quite a bit of chemicals do go into this. So luckily, if we go into this quest line here, this should bring us all the way from nothing all the way to fissile fuel production. This will also bring us into the fission reactor itself, turbine, the fusion reactor, the antimatter pellets itself, which is another huge thing we need. So let's get going. Alright guys, so I did just make the first machine here. We're just going to follow the recipe, or I guess not the recipe, but the quest line. Just so we, keep up with it. So we're just going to craft the hazmat suit. Not going to use the hazmat suit though. No need for that. And I guess it wants us to build the fission reactor. I don't want to do that. Alright, sulfuric acid. You should have already made. Okay, so this isn't going to bring us to sulfuric acid because it covers sulfuric acid somewhere in here. We skipped right over the 5 times ore processing. So let's actually just pull up sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is made, let's see, with water vapor, sulfur trioxide, item to chemical, sulfur into sulfuric acid. Super easy. What? We gotta figure out. I forget which machine actually is responsible for that craft though. Does not tell us, just says item to chemical. Let me figure that out. Okay, so chemical oxidizer. I don't believe this is going to actually give us the full material we're going to need, but it should. That doesn't steal it. Should be able to input. Does not want to input. Does this need a pusher upgrade? Yeah. What an awful noise. Okay. I want you and you, of course. We want all the speed, all the energy upgrade. We're going to want a... We're going to take a... I made a stack of quantum entangleporters. You'll see why once we get this up and running. What else do we want? Gates. Want everything powered, of course. So you'll see we are now making sulfur dioxide. If we look at the uses of sulfur dioxide, if you mix that with oxygen, you get sulfur trioxide. We're going to place one quantum entangleporter down. Sulfur dioxide, new channel, set. Go to chemicals, we're going to clear it. It's already in the system though. There you go. Sulfur dioxide being inputted into the quantum entangleporter. Now, we're going to want a chemical infuser here with oxygen. So if we go back to Mekanism, we'll type chemical. What are these? Control circuits. We're going to just make a bunch of them, get them in the system, because we're going to need quite a few of these guys. All right, so with the chemical infuser here, if we input on the left, does not want to, oh, that's why. First, I really don't know if it matters the side for this, but let's see. We want oxygen, chemicals, output. Okay, so go red 2. Then we want chemicals output. Nice. Sulfur trioxide. We want to get energy gate on the front. Just like so. Awesome. And we want to mute you as well. It's one of these. I know it is. We'll wait. Sulfur trioxide is our new output. So if we go, I guess on the back, go sulfur trioxide. Right, is that how you spell it? Sulfur trioide. Nice. Clear the chemicals. We want to input on the front. This we want to output on the back. There is the sound. All right, and you can very quickly see what our bottleneck is. It is this guy here. Can only run so quick, but while we are building this system up, it's filling up these buffers, which is nice. And we're using these quantum entangleporters for the reason that if we need to scale this to produce more of everything, we can just place an absolute crap ton of these machines back here hidden away. We just want the basic ones right up front so we get the basic idea of how this system is actually running. You'll see our sulfur is not keeping up. So we're going to have to find a method to break the ones downstairs as well. But with this sulfur trioxide, if we mix that with water vapor, you get sulfuric acid. Water vapor is made with water in a rotary condensator, and then if you spin that up, it makes water vapor. So next up, we're going to need one of these guys. We need an empty tank for that recipe. Trying to put that one in. There we go. All right, so if we place this here, slap down the gate. Not sure if I have a... I don't have a water one running yet. Actually, let's go like so. I forget where our nearest sink is. Right here. Water. We want fluids, input. I should be filling up with water. Maybe it doesn't. Might not auto pull out like I want it to. And we'll go. We need the configurator. There we go. That should be filled with water. Go back. Water set. we want fluids, input, fluids, output, just like so. We are now making water vapor. And a little bit of speed, a little bit of energy, and we're making water vapor. Does not look like we're making water vapor very quickly, however. That's probably because it's also dumping it back into this guy, which is not good. That's not what we want. Go to chemicals, clear that. We don't want the water vapor in the water channel. We want pretty much everything to be separated into separate channels. So if we go in here, select water vapor, go to chemicals, input, that should, let's go output, there we go. This guy's now filling up with the water vapor. However, if we go into here, place down another chemical infuser with another quantum entangleporter, we'll get our ender gate on it. It looks like we're actually out of speed upgrades. I'm going to just favorite these recipes so I can remember to autocraft these. Looks like it doesn't take regular glass. You have to use structural glass now. That's crazy. Good thing we're rich. All right. Now we want to input. Go on chemicals config. We want to input and input. We want sulfur trioxide. So we have sulfur trioxide on one side. We want input 2 on the other side. And just like that, there is sulfuric acid. And right here, make a new channel, sulfuric acid. Very nice. And then we're going to go chemicals. It should just be auto inputting. But that might be a fluid also. Or it just might not store in the quantum entangleporter. That's looking like the likely case here. Because we have it inputting on everything. Actually, we're going to output on the back. That helps. There we go. So sulfuric acid is building up in our system now. All starting with sulfur seeds. You see, as soon as these grow and they're crafted into sulfur, they're then placed into our chemical oxidizer. Then it's turned into sulfur dioxide with oxygen, sulfur trioxide, water vapor here. This is kind of like a nonchalant one you would want in the back, but we're going to keep it at the front. And then the sulfur trioxide with water vapor is then made into sulfuric acid. Okay, nice. And where do we go from here? Where is my chart? I have a chart here. Okay, let's put this back up. We want Fissle. Fissle is made with uranium hexafluoride, which is made with uranium oxide and hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluoric acid is sulfuric acid in a chemical dissolution chamber with fluoride. Nice and simple. We can figure that one out. Do need one of these guys. This is the next step of this process. So if we go here, we want to, which one is this guy? Sulfur trioxide. Okay, shouldn't connect up. We want sulfuric acid. Oh crap, I created a second one. Why'd I do that? Oh, it's fine. Okay. We want to output that into the machine. Then we have to find a way to get our fluorite into here. We can do that a couple different ways. Easiest of those ways, get a connector, get a P2P tunnel, I guess some smart cables, some dense cables, put that away, put that away. We're going to pull out our linking kit, clear these guys, and we're going to get some AE2 up in here. All right, so we're going to go wireless card. We'll go home. We are going to need a new connector though, which means color applicator, set this guy to black. Blew right past it, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, black. Then link. All right, so this is linked up over there. Device offline. Oh. Device online. And then we need this memory card. Pick a P2P tunnel. Go back. Then we're going to want quick and dirty. 32 channels. All right, then we want a export bus. We'll go with an extended one because they're quicker. Connect him up. Get our main line ran. Follow the line. And items. There you go. I was going to say, I should pull from the system. You are going to get some acceleration cards in here, make it quicker. Very nice. And we want to get that boy muted. And then quiet it down. Now we are making hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluoric acid. Very nice. It's now pulling the hydrofluoric acid we are producing from the chemical dissolution chamber into the quantum entangler. We can then bring this anywhere we want, but for the sake of keeping this small, right here. Next, we need to take the hydrofluoric acid and we got to make some uranium oxide and put them both into a chemical infusion chamber. So, hydrofluoric acid down here, chemicals, output, auto eject. There's one side of that. Then we need uranium oxide. which is made in a chemical oxidizer. Let's make our prerequisite chemical oxidizer. Nice and simple. We want to get our dense cable ran. Going to want another export bus. And I believe there's a couple other machines we might have to make. We need yellow cake uranium, which is made in an enrichment chamber, which we can go home. That's just using uranium in an enrichment chamber. We want patterns. And luckily, we now have an automated enrichment chamber right here. This one. Place him in there. Go back. Export bus. Uranium cake. Then we want acceleration cards. We want crafting cards. And then hook it to the system. Okay, then input. Should connect. Gets auto crafted up. Speed it up. Power it up. And there's uranium oxide. Again, quantum entangleporter. Uranium oxide. And that should, if we configure it in our system, output. There we go. Now, back to our chemical infuser. We need that uranium oxide. Then we need to configure that chemical to output on the left. We want to actually clear everything else. Boom. Uranium hexafluoride. Lots of chemical names. And you'll see that is now crafted up. Go in here. Uranium. What's it called? Hexafluoride. Hexafluoride. Fluoride. Close enough. And then clear everything else, just in case. Chemicals, input. And chemicals, output on the back. Now we have uranium hexafluoride going into our quantum entangleporter. Very nice. Then with the uranium hexafluoride, the final step is going into an isotopic centrifuge. Which, if we just put this facing this direction, I believe we can then slap a gate somewhere. There we go. And uranium hexafluoride. That is awful noise. But that's now producing fissile fuel. That is the last last product of this long line of chemicals that we are going to need. Now, you do not have to do it the way I did it. The reason I have them all going into the separate quantum entangler is so I can walk by and I can see which one is our bottleneck, which it's going to be sulfur dioxide for now. We have plenty of oxygen. That one's probably the easiest to craft. So sulfur dioxide is going to be a bottleneck. Water vapor, no big deal. Yeah. Because everything else is probably going to keep up. Now, last step, we got to be able to take our fissile fuel out. And I do believe I'm able to just drop this under. We'll go fissile fuel. And I cannot remember if this is a fluid or a chemical, so we're going to input on both. So, there we go. Now we can pull this anywhere in the world to our reactor once we get our reactor set up. Our fission reactor. Very nice. Now, off camera, I'm probably going to set up a separate sulfur seed farm. I just wanted this here to be the beginning of the long demonstration of our final product. But alternatively, we do have, let's see, sulfur ore. We can just bring all of this to our system. Which shouldn't be too hard. I could probably get a storage bus in there, and then set up auto crafting on the one bus up there. Actually, I'll just do that now. Let's see. We'll go external. No, it's just storage bus. ME storage bus. Then take the smart cable. We want to turn this off temporarily. Okay. We want to probably go down this way. What are we at? 17 of 32. That's fine. We can make that work. And then pull it up. Lower priority first. Insertion, higher priority. Extraction, lower priority. Jeez, we're just going to put this at like negative 10K. Okay, so if we look, yeah, you can see all of them in our system now, which is what we wanted. And turn that off. I'll put that to low. Then we want to just fix our glass over here. Black stained glass. Perfect. Get rid of this stuff. Okay, now come back up to our system. Wrong floor. This guy here. On to export. Acceleration. Crafting. Just like so. sulfur. Just like so. Okay, now we got to go home. We want uses of the sulfur ore. Enrichment chamber. Awesome. Is there another sulfur ore, or is it legit just this one? I think it's just that one. And this boy should just start ripping. We're going to turn auto sort off on this though, because we don't want this stuff to just flood it. And then if we go back now, this should just start filling up directly from our system. This is only a temporary solution though. We are going to have to figure out something more permanent. Because there is going to come a time where it does catch up to this. And this is what I wanted to avoid. We don't want this stuff stored in here. I guess we can go extract only. And then if we toss anything back into the system, yeah. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Awesome. So that's exactly what we wanted now. This should just fill straight up with the sulfur. Still not keeping up, but it'll do for now. In the future, we can just straight logistic cable up with more of these chemical oxidizers, and then just quantum entangleporters, and we won't need to worry about anything more going in. But if we needed more of these, scale, 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 and that's why we did it. As for this, I don't think we'll set our reactor to run slowly. But once we have excess of the other material, well, this isn't bottlenecked yet, so. I guess we'll just wait and see. Once we get a reactor, we'll have a better idea of what our true bottleneck is. But as of right now, this is working perfect. Again, bottlenecked here, but that's alright. Very nice, very happy. Alright, the only thing left is to build the reactor itself, which I do not want to house in this building. This building is for the machines. I do have an area set out over here. If we can just... I guess I have not made a sleeping bag. Very interesting. Alright, bombed over here. There we go. Guess we'll keep that on us. Where's our food? Alright, so I got this area set out over here. I gotta figure out a design for a building. The one I have picked out is about 19 times the size of this little section here. It would actually require me taking down this entire mountain. So I gotta condense the build down. Also, you like the trophy? But getting sidetracked aside, I'm happy with the progress we've made this episode. Next episode, we will get the fission reactor up and running. And with that, once we get the fission reactor we'll be able to do the polonium pellets, the plutonium pellets, and that's where the real bottleneck will be discovered. Because we want to make as much nuclear waste as we possibly can right off the bat. But it's not so much of a threat that if it gets bottlenecked, because we do have radioactive bees. So there's always this route. I think we need the wasted one. Yeah, so that is exposing a bee to radiation. Or I guess a polonium pellet to a radioactive bee, which is an iron bee, creep bee. That wouldn't be hard to do either. So I guess next episode we will see how bottlenecked this gets. I can scale it up because we're also going to be using it for power. We're going to power a big turbine with it. So guess we can look forward to that. But other than all of that information, I'm going to wrap this episode up. If you guys have any questions, like always, just comment down below. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.